Okay, now let us study the third law of Mendel, and that is called as the law of independent assortment. And this is different from the other two laws in the sense that it consists of the study of two different types of characters, two different characters. Initially, in the first two laws, only one character was taken, so other laws were based upon a study of the mono hybrid characteristic, and here we are going to study two characteristic at a time, so it is called as a dihybrid cross. So Mendel basically tried to understand the relationship between two characteristics. He wanted to know, is there any influence of one character over the other character, or they are totally independent. That was his motive. For example, let us take human beings, and human beings having black eye color and black hair color. So these two genes are controlling the two different characteristics in human beings. So we want to know whether this black hair color gene always go along with the black eye color gene, or they are independent to each other. If they go along each other, then any person who has this black hair will always have black eyes, or any person which have brown hair color will always have brown eye color, which if it is there in the environment, then these two genes are dependent upon each other. And if we can find a person having black hair with brown eyes, it means that the genes are independent to each other, means they can go in another generation to the next generation and independently. So Mendel, what he did, he carried out a dihybrid cross. And in that dihybrid cross, he took two characteristics. One of them was the color of the seed. One of them was the color of seed, which were of two types. One was yellow in color and the other was green in color. So that this was the first characteristic which he took. And the other characteristic which he took was the shape of the seed, and the shape of the seed were again of two types. One was the shape was round, and in another case the shape was wrinkled. So what he did, he took a yellow colored seed which was round in shape, this one round with yellow color seed, and another combination which he took was green with wrinkled seed. So this is green with wrinkled and structure. The genotype can be written, since we have already discussed that Mendel used to take pure plant, so he always took the red, round and yellow with pure characteristics. That's why it's RR, that is homozygous condition, with YY, again a homozygous condition, and crossed it with small r, small y, that is, this is green in color and this is green in color and this is wrinkled. So when he crossed them, he got all round and all yellow. And you know the reason, because you have already studied the law of dominance. You know that capital Y is dominant over small y and capital R will be dominating over the small r. So the seed will be round in shape, the seed will be yellow in color. That is what we observe here. It's yellow in color and it is round in shape. So after this, when Mendel crossed or did the selfing, when he did the selfing, you all know the type of gametes which can be produced out of these two individuals. We are whenever we form the gametes out of any organism, we have to take one letter from one characteristic and another letter from another characteristic. So it's going to be, one combination can be capital R, capital Y, which is shown here. Then another can be, we can take capital Y with small r. So capital Y and small r, you can see it here. And the earlier can be seen here. Then third, we can take Y with capital R. So it's small y and capital R. Here it is and here it is. And the small y and the small r, these two can be combined. So here we have the gametes. Now in nature, random fusion can take place. Any gamete of one plant can fuse with any other gamete of the other plant. So there is a probability of this particular gamete fusing with this, fusing with this, fusing with this, fusing with this. All possible combinations have been taken by us, and we will try to study all of them. So we have made all the gametes here, and let us try to study the inheritance. Now if you see in this diagram, you will find that when just write down the gametes here, you will find the genotype of this. We are just writing down these gametes, and then we are writing down these gametes and combining them. Here also I am writing here this gamete and this gamete. So when you write all the genotype of all the individual, you will get this kind of a genotypic structure. So if you start counting, and if you start understanding the phenotype, you will find that here the seed is going to be yellow and round. So I have colored it yellow and I made it round. Here also, because of the capital Y and capital R, it is yellow and round, yellow and round, yellow and round. Again here it is yellow and round, yellow and round, yellow and round, yellow and round. Wherever you will get one capital Y and one capital R, you can straight away write the capital Y and the capital R, or yellow you can write. Now here this is yellow in color, but it is wrinkled. Here it is yellow in color and it is wrinkled. Here also it is yellow in color and it is wrinkled, and this is green and wrinkled. So what we find is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 9 individuals are yellow and round. So here we have written yellow and round. And if you see this particular individual, this particular individual, this particular individual, we do not have capital Y, so it's going to be green in color. So 1, 2, 3 will be green and round. So here we have written green and round. And these 3 are yellow and wrinkled. Here is the yellow and wrinkled, and this is green and wrinkled. So what we observe, what is the objective of this particular law, is that this 9 individuals are similar to the parent. This one individual is also similar to the parental type, but these 2 individuals, they are newly formed. They are recombinants. They are formed new, which means that the seed of the gene for the shape of the seed, and the gene for the color of the seed are not dependent to each other. They are independent. So this round can go with green color. The round can also go with yellow color. Wrinkled can go with yellow color, and wrinkled can also go with green color. All combinations are possible, which is an indication that the genes are independent of each other. Had they been dependent, we would not have been able to get a new combinations. If they were dependent, we could only get round and yellow, and we could only get wrinkled and green. But we got 2 more new combination, that is round and green and wrinkled and yellow, which proves that the genes are independent of each other. They are independent of each other. And that is what Mendel concluded. According to the second law, the third law of Mendel, as we have studied here, according to third law, whenever a dihybrid cross is made, the genes that go in the next generation are independent of each other. So if you actually define the law of independent assortment, you can say that when a dihybrid cross is made, then the genes responsible for different characteristics are independent of each other. So we not only get parental combinations but also new combinations. This is the law of independent assortment. Thank you.